Pownal Select Board meeting, June 10th at 7 p.m. We need to approve the agenda, but we need to add a few things to the agenda. We need to add bid award. We need to add ARPA. We need to add road allocation, and we need to add Zoom room. And we also need to move number 9, the health officer, up. So this is what I did. I have approval of agenda, approval of minutes. Then there's 3 sets of minutes. We're going to move the health officer up to 2B so we can talk to Fred Miller. He has another meeting at 7:30. And then we're going to do warrants, excess weight, municipal grant. Then we're going to add bid award. And then 5.2 would be allocation. 6 is correspondence. 7 is Martina Barnes, District Ranger of the Green Mountain National Forest. 8 is Bruce Richardson, Forester, Timber Sale. 9, we moved up to 2B, which was the health officer. So then 10 will be staff meeting, 90-day review. And then 10.1 is going to be the ARPA for requests of money and appoint Tim and Ellen. And then Zoom room for $4.99 a year fee, public comment, and then 12 adjourn. Can I entertain a motion to accept with the changes?
Make a motion to accept the agenda, approve the agenda with the amendments and changes.
Second it.
Any discussion? Jamie?
Aye.
Ronnie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Angie, aye. So approval of minutes of the Sewer Commission of May 27th, 2021. Can I entertain a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of Sewer Commission, May 27th.
Second.
Any discussion or changes? Hearing none. Jamie?
Aye.
There were some changes sent from Darcy, and I did update those. It was about the EUs per year.
Was that in the packet that you sent us today?
Yes. Yeah, the updated ones are in the packet. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
What I thought.
Okay. Everybody good with that? Jamie?
Aye.
Ronnie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Angie, aye. Minutes of the Select Board of May 27th, 2021.
So moved.
Second it.
Any discussion? Jamie?
Aye.
Ronnie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Angie, aye. Minutes of the Select Board meeting of June 1st, 2021.
So moved.
Second it.
Any discussion or changes? Jamie?
Aye.
Ronnie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Angie, aye. All right, so we're going to talk to Fred Miller. Fred, is Fred in there? For health officer, he's the only person that sent a letter that's interested in the position. Fred, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Basically, I was just wondering if you had any questions for me. Yeah, I was wondering what the status was of the position.
I'd like to make a suggestion that even though Fred is the only person who has applied for the health officer position, I'd still like to bring you in and talk to Fred about the position and about some of the changes that we've made.
At a town level?
At a town level, that's right. At a town employee level, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, because we've made some changes at that level, and I'd like to do it sooner rather than later. As quick as we can, obviously. Are you okay with that, Fred?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, Mike, would we be okay with appointing him and having him come in, and we can always rescind the appointment, but then we don't have any delays if he doesn't agree to the changes that we made and those sorts of things. I guess why delay it? We kind of need a health officer pretty quickly.
I'm okay with that, Bob. That's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I just don't want to get ourselves back into a corner where we've made an appointment. And most of it is, our policy and that stuff that we've made. I just want to make that clear to Fred. That's all before.
Right. So we can actually make the appointment tonight and say pending agreement to do town policy.
And that's perfectly fine with me. Perfectly fine with me, because I don't have a problem appointing Fred. I just want to do that. I want to make sure we do that step so that we get that stuff all in order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever changes, or whatever, it'll all be new to me anyway. So it won't be much of a change for me.
Yeah. Well, it's not a change to him.
We're not taking your firstborn or anything, Fred.
Right.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So we have to recommend him anyway, so we can move forward with this, so we can have the paperwork filled out and sent to the state.
Right, and that's fine.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
I'll make a motion that we recommend Fred Miller for appointment to health officer to the state, pending a meeting with Fred and his acceptance of town policy.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
Fred, you realize there's a lot of paperwork on the computer. You hear me, Fred?
Probably not. Fred, can you hear?
I heard him saying something. I couldn't make it out though.
Go ahead, Ronnie.
You got to do a lot of this stuff on the computer here,
Yeah.
Just want you to be familiar with that.
Oh yeah. I spent years working on a computer. I got so bad I had a computer personality for quite a while. I've gotten away from that, so I'm back being a human being again.
Okay, I just wanted you to realize you do have that.
Right. Yeah.
We always pay a stipend, and we kind of like to pay people as they go.
Sure.
That's our policy, part of it.
Yep.
Explain the rest of it when we go through it.
Okay.
I have the full manual right here with myself, and I will help you as much as I can. There's 2 pending things right now, and I will work with you as much as possible to help you get through that. You can help me as well.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a motion on the table. I have a second. Any further discussion? Damie.
Aye.
Ronnie.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
Aye.
Angie, aye. When would be a good time for you, Fred, to come in?
You prefer afternoons? I'm pretty open. Most of my days are free after 12.
Free. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, and if the board is comfortable with you and I or Ronnie or whoever just going over that policy and stuff,
right?
If the board's comfortable with that, we can do it. Sure, some afternoon would be better for all of us probably, instead of another meeting.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only afternoon I wouldn't be able to would be on a Friday. Okay.
If the board's comfortable with that, we can do it. You have Mondays off.
I have Mondays off.
Do you want to do a Monday?
Monday's fine with me.
But do you want to do it on your day off?
That's fine. I don't have nothing planned.
Then I would like to try to do it Monday, Fred, to just get it out of the way. That
okay.
works.
Yep. Sounds good.
Like
perfect.
1 o'clock be okay?
What time?
1 o'clock.
1? Sure. Monday at 1.
With the board that me and Mike and Tim sit down with him and. Okay.
And Tim will be here on Monday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Very good.
Right.
Right, but I just if you guys are comfortable without doing it as a meeting, then I'm fine with Angie and I sitting down and Tim. Okay.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. We'll see you Monday at 1 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm gonna leave now.
All right. I knew you had another meeting.
Right. Thank you.
I won't see you Monday morning. I'll remind you Sunday.
Send me a text Monday. You have no idea what I got going on.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to move to warrants. Accounts payable from 6/1 to 6/11/2021 for $29,203.84.
Did these get posted like we had said in our onto the website? Remember we said we were going to start posting warrants?
Yeah.
And did it get posted to the website? And all I'm doing, Angie.
So I don't have to say something.
So you don't have to. No. So you don't have to explain it all out. If it's already been posted on our website.
What I don't know is whether it was posted, because we just did it today. And just so you know, what we started doing is putting the AP warrants in.
Yeah.
Not payroll.
Right.
Whether that was,
No, don't put payroll.
No, payroll, not cool.
No. Okay. But some people might not have internet. I don't know. I'll just.
It is in our document archive.
Okay.
It should be available once the new website is launched.
Right.
And I'm just trying to save you time of reading all the what the big charges are.
Okay.
That's
so
all.
do you want me to read them tonight or skip it?
I would read them tonight.
All right.
And then from now on, let it be known that we're just going to read the bottom line. And go from there.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
All right.
All right. Gardener's Lawn Care for $3,845.96. Green Mountain Power for $1,122.75. Hoosick River Hydro for $3,105.05. RK Miles for $2,725.67. And that is for the wood for the park down here, which we will be reimbursed for through a grant, correct?
No, the funds are already available.
The funds are already available through the grant. Okay. Right. Gotcha. All right. Then the Salem Farm Supply, that is for the new sweeper for $6,800. IRS for $3,069. IRS for $2,758. The total again is $29,203.84. Can I entertain a motion?
That's one ending the 11th.
No, these are accounts payable.
These are accounts payable. Did I say payroll?
No, I
Make a motion.
Make a motion that we pay the accounts payable.
Can I have a second, please?
I'll second it.
All right, Jamie.
Aye.
Ronnie.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
And Mike.
Aye.
Angie. Aye. This is warrants. No, this is payroll.
Payroll. Yeah.
Payroll. All right. This is payroll for 6/11/21. Mike is in it, so he's gonna have to abstain. This is for $9,472.97. Can I entertain a motion?
So move.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Jamie.
Aye.
Ronnie.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
Mike.
Abstain.
Angie. Aye. Payroll ending 6/4 for $10,412.45. Can I entertain a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Jamie.
Aye.
Ronnie.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Angie. Aye. Thank you, everybody. All right. Excess weight permit. Where'd my permit go? Okay, Mr. Let's see, M. Tatro Trucking LLC. For logs, maximum weight is 99,000. Is that correct? Am I reading that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So can I entertain a motion to accept?
Is it just how many is it?
Just one.
Make a motion. Accept excess weight permit for Tatro logging.
Second.
Any discussion? Jamie?
Aye.
Ronnie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Angie? Aye. All right, the municipal grant program. Did you want to speak on that at all, Tim?
Sure, sure. So this is what Bill's put together, and it's for you all to review the program and then just approve Angie to sign. It's all put together, and it just has to be submitted by the 25th of June.
Did everybody read it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
So can I entertain a motion
Make a motion
for me to sign?
for Angie to sign the municipal grants program. Mm-hmm.
Second.
Any discussion? Jamie?
Aye.
Ronnie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Angie? Aye. Okay, so now we got to add 5-1, which is the bid award for the blacktop. This was what we got from Joel. Bid results are in from the blacktopping this year. Basin Brothers was the low bidder, coming in at $204,446.25 for the highway and $34,011.25 for the transfer station. This bid price per ton was $74.75 in place. In the past, Basin has always done an excellent work I recommend hiring Basin for this year's blacktopping. I sent you copies of all the bids for your inspection. We have $218,000 in this year's budget. I had a stretch on Maple Grove Road pending getting grant money, but unfortunately we did not receive any blacktop money this year. We did get a $175,000 grant for the second culvert on Mount Anthony Road.
Make a motion to follow Joel's recommendation.
For Basin for blacktopping?
Correct.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? Jamie?
Aye.
Ronnie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Angie, aye. Thank you, Joel. All right. 5.2 is the allocation. That was for the 10,000
That's for the 2 vehicles that we
were
sold
sold on June.
on auction.
Yeah.
And all we're doing is we are putting that money in. We have to make a motion to put it into the road account, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
That's correct.
Equipment fund.
Road
Equipment
okay,
fund. I
road
can't find my
equipment fund.
letter. Here it is.
I make a motion we move the money from the 2 auctioned items for $10,050 be allocated back to the road equipment fund.
Second it.
Any discussion? Jamie?
Aye.
Ronnie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Angie, aye.
Let's get me again.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Correspondence. There was nothing in there, really, was there, Jamie? Nothing in here, really? No. Okay, so we're going to skip correspondence. We don't really have anything. All right, Martina Barnes, District Ranger, Green Mountain National Forest.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Good
you?
evening. I'm good. How are you?
Well, thank you.
Good. Can you hear me okay, everybody?
Yep.
Great. Well, thanks so much for allowing me to join your meeting tonight. I forgot your name. Are you Megan? Sorry.
I'm Angie.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Angie.
Hi there.
As Angie mentioned, I'm the district ranger on the Green Mountain Finger Lakes National Forest, the Manchester Ranger District. I started in November of 2020, and I'm reaching out just to each of the individual select boards to just say hello. I assume you know that we exist since you have about 4,000 or so acres of national forest in your town, but I'm just trying to reach out and introduce myself and let you know about some of the projects that are going on in your town that you might be of interest in, and to let you know that I am here and really interested in the relationships with each individual town in the district. There are about 28 or so individual towns, and each of you is really critical to making sure, we are able to implement projects and just to educate the public about what we have going on and answer any questions or concerns that you have. So I, hopefully can meet with you sometime in person soon. And I just wanted to touch on, I guess, 2 items specifically. We will be having an active timber sale. I was actually down in Stamford today. The Broad Brook Timber Sale has been advertised. It would, the timber, I'm going to give you some statistics here. It would be a timber harvest of about nearly 300 acres. The entire area is about 1,300 acres, the contract area, but the area that we would be harvesting is about 300 acres, about, I think, 5,000 CCFs. So we were meeting with potential purchasers this morning in Stamford, and it also includes some areas of Pownal. So the bids will be due at the end of June. So we would be making a selection on the successful bidder sometime this summer. And then if all goes well, the harvest could begin as soon as December of 2021. So wanted to share that with you. Also, I had a question, I don't know who might be able to answer it, from our recreation staff. It's regarding ATV use. And I wanted to ask if you've opened County Road and Military Road to ATV use, if you know the answer to that question.
County Road and Old Military Road are opened up to ATV use, Martin. Yes.
Okay. Great. Because we are planning, you may be familiar with Sucker Pond Trail. We are planning to reroute the trail around the existing area because of the damage to that's being caused by that existing trail. So that's a project that we approved a few years ago, actually, and we're planning to reroute that trail, that Sucker Pond Trail. So that's good news. I will pass that along. Do you happen to have a map showing which roads are open to ATV use and which are not for the town of Pownal?
There's very few that actually are.
It's 4.
Okay.
Legally opened up. I believe Crossroad is one. County Road is one. Old Military is one. I believe Shankar Road is one. Dummy Noble Road, which is an extension off Old Military, is another one.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thanks, Megan. Shankar, Old Military, and we can, if you give us, if you give Megan an address, we can forward this to you as well, so you have this.
That would be excellent. That's really helpful. So I have Megan's email. She sent me the agenda for tonight's meeting, so I'll pass that along.
Perfect.
I'll email it to you this evening.
Oh, thanks, Megan.
No problem.
That's about it. I covered them.
Okay. Great. Yeah, so I didn't want to take up a lot of time. I know everybody's busy, but I just basically wanted to make sure you knew I'm here to answer any questions tonight, and also just that I'm here and really interested in having a, constructive relationship with you moving forward. So
that trail rework, that's part of a collaboration between you all and VASA, correct?
If you could repeat that question, that'd be helpful.
The trail rework around Sucker Pond, that's a collaboration between National Forest and VASA?
Yes, exactly. And I think we're also working with, I believe the state is also involved in that. Yes.
Great.
Martine, do you have a timeline on that, that rework of that trail?
Well, it's not going to happen this summer, but I believe I can verify this, but the project has been approved. It's basically just getting some of our specialists to make sure that we're not going through wetland areas for the reroute, because that's kind of what we're trying to avoid, is going through the wetlands. I'm thinking like next year. It's like a year out, I believe. Especially, I believe we're applying for some the state funding to help because it involves some engineering work potentially through that wet area to make sure that the ATVs don't keep, when they go through there, they don't keep causing that destruction. So, but I can get a timeline. I can maybe send it to Megan, and then she can pass it on to you.
I would just curious than anything because I know we've had that question pop up from some of our ATV groups in the past, and I'm extremely familiar with that area that you're talking about. So I got a lot of foot miles up there, so I know exactly where you're talking about. So
yeah, it's a popular area, and obviously we're not that happy with some of the, trash and dumping and some of the other stuff that's going on back there and the partying. But, we're trying to do what we can that's why I think working with towns and other, local organizations and just residents like you all is important to just educate about what's, sort of where they should be riding, where they shouldn't be riding.
Yeah, I think getting VASA involved in making those VASA trails and they're accessible, we'll get we'll get some of the policing out there as well. So we do have a new it's a private group, but it's a VASA affiliated group in town, and that does bring us in some enforcement, and so I think that's going to help as well.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess I have one other quick question, Martina. How is that going to, or what are the plans for the lifted Jeeps and Jeep type vehicles? I don't want to be.
Yep. That's a great question. In fact, I was just out there Friday of last week with some folks. We were just walking some of the trails, and about 5 minutes after we arrived, like four Jeeps came through, and we're probably about to go on Sucker Pond Trail, but then they saw us and just kept going straight. Pretty funny.
Yeah. They saw the Ranger truck and they said, "Oh, we better not do this."
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they came back later in the day, I'm sure. But I think the intent is that, that's a really tricky question. I believe because some of the UTVs are pretty wide as well. So ideally we would design, and I actually haven't been there in person on the existing Sucker Pond Trail yet, but I think the thought was to design the trail bridges in the wet areas so that they would be narrow enough to allow UTVs, but not wide enough to allow Jeeps through that area. So I think the thought is that we would try to restrict. I guess the other option would be, I don't know if you could do that with a gate, but I think the real idea was to design crossings over wet areas to really not allow those larger vehicles across. Yeah.
The reason I asked that question is because a lot of the ATV and UTV people get blamed or people think that they're the ones that are doing the destruction when the reality is not that they're innocent, because some of them aren't, but the reality is most of that destruction and devastation comes from those Jeeps and Jeep type vehicles that they're the ones. I mean, I'm like you, I've witnessed it. I spend a lot of time up there. I have in the past hunting and stuff, and I actually own some property up there. So that's why I was asking that, because the ATV, UTV people take a lot of the blame for things that probably a lot of it isn't really their fault or their responsibility, their damage.
And I think once the more accessible it is, I think it's going to make it actually better, because you'll get more responsible usage, and they'll be turning in the irresponsible users.
Well, that's the whole, for sure.
That's true. And we do have the group we have in town. I have high hopes for, because they're a new group. They are now VASA affiliated, and that's going to bring in some more of the responsible riders. And we have learned from other towns that the responsible riders are out there, sort of. I don't want to call it self-policing, because we get a lot of pushback on that. the more responsible people you have out there, the more they're going to be, turning in and confronting those that are the bad players.
Yep.
Definitely. So yeah, so I just let's just be in touch, and I can send, if as I have updates, I'm happy to just send a quick update about the project to Megan, maybe to pass on to you all, just to keep you in the loop. And I'm sure you'll be seeing stuff as work on the project progresses, but we're definitely not doing any like actual implementation this year, but I think the hope is to do that next year.
Perfect. Thank you very much for calling. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, no problem. Nice meeting you too. Take care. I'll look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Okay, next is Bruce Richardson from Forester Timber Sale. Would you like to step up here and sit at the table?
I will.
Okay. That way people can hear you too next to the speaker.
Goodies for you.
Thank you.
There's one here for Bob, and you're Tim, right? Yes. Okay.
This is for Bob.
Well, I'm here initially tonight as representative for Gordon Boyce, who owns timber in Halifax Hollow on approximately 300 acres. The very last page of that handout I gave you gives you a little idea of the area that we're looking at, showing the tannery lands and Boyce lands that runs from all the way from Ellis Mine all the way into Reservoir Hollow. But Halifax Hollow is the center of our interest at this time, where the bulk of Mr. Boyce's timber or property is located. And he has a deeded right-of-way through Barlow's old gravel pit, which is now O'Donovan or Maxon Trucking, whichever they go through. And several years ago, I marked about 90,000 board feet of timber on that property, and we were going to be putting it out for sale, and the timber prices weren't too good, so he decided to back off. But at this point in time, he's looking to get some money off the property and work toward adding some funds to his bank account. So on the second page, you'll see that shows the relationship between the tannery lands and the Boyce property. The tannery property that is marked is highlighted in the yellow. Near the center of the diagram is where the Sportsman's Club camp is located.
Where that X is?
No, right here. This
Okay.
little square there. And you can see
the right of way goes to a.
This is the right of way, correct?
Well, the coming in from O'Donovan's gravel pit comes right up the main hollow road here. This little, you'll see a small circle just onto the page there. That would be where we'd be looking to put the truck landing, which is on Boyce's property. Oh, actually, that's the upper one. It's just off the page, but it's pretty close. And be looking to truck the wood from there down through. Last time that we did anything there was in the area above the Sportsman's Club. There was a pretty good blow from Hurricane. Was it Floyd or Hugo? I can't remember which one. And it tipped over a lot of timber in there that we took out. And at that time, we skidded it all the way down to Barlow's gravel pit. I just wanted to make you aware of, you know, his intent to harvest timber, but also the fact that there's 86,000 board feet that I marked at the same time on the town,
right,
that would make a whole lot of sense to try to put this all together, because if you look at the topography, the way the boundary lines crisscross mishmash up in there, having to recross each other's property in order to get access to this stuff.
Do it all around the same time frame.
It would make a whole lot more sense to try to do something together and, you know, spread the cost of all the water bars, road work that's going to be necessary in order to properly implement our AMPs as far as erosion control and things of that, you know, spread it out over both properties rather than one person doing it and having to, you know, foot the whole bill or have it come out of their timber income. And I have talked with Mr. O'Donovan, and he seems very amicable about the prospects of the town harvesting their timber and coming out through his property. In the past, you know, there's been the contention over the years over rights of way into that area. And Mr. Boyce does have a deeded right of way that he, you know, acquired through his brother-in-law, Bob Barlow, when he purchased the timberland separate from the gravel pit. Now, you know, how the existing board feels about, you know, that situation, I guess that's something to be discussed. But, you know, I'm not looking for any answer one way or another. It's kind of more of an informative thing. I do have a timber showing scheduled for the 15th on the Boyce property. And, you know, if I did... Of June. And if I did have word from you at that time, I could just notify the bidders that, you know, we do have the available an extra 86,000 board feet and 90 cords of wood to go along with this sale.
So what? I get a couple of questions.
Sure.
I guess Bruce, Mike Gardner.
Yeah.
So everybody knows.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but what is your timeline of harvest timeline on Mr. Boyce's property?
Harvest timeline on a project like this, being, you know, we're almost midsummer.
Right. I guess you're starting.
It's not. I would like to move this along as quick as possible, so that it's not protracted over an excessively long period of time. The ground, as you can see, it's not.
I know.
Flat ground.
I know.
Over there, it's steep.
It's steep.
So you're limited pretty much dry ground summer logging. You know, there may be a few small areas on the lower slopes that you could do in wintertime, but anybody in their bright mind isn't really want to go.
No, that's why I was
so,
asking. Just curious.
You know, I would be looking to carry this over to the end of next summer to get the whole project completed. You know, give somebody time enough. The more you start constricting them on time, the less money they're going to throw out there too.
Right. No, that's, you know, that's right. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What you were looking at for a timeline
with your conservation easement, with the Vermont Land Trust. They basically they have to be notified 15 days before any harvesting takes place on the property. And that's not a big issue.
Right. And we're going to be in, we would, if we approved this or went ahead with harvesting the land up there, the timber off the town's property, we're going to be in full compliance with everything that's in place.
The written plan that's in place.
You've been part of that all along, correct? Okay. Correct. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been part of that
since
the get-go. And
right.
You know, probably at some point in time here, we're probably looking close to a revision of that plan.
Yeah, I would think so.
It's been a number of years. You know, usually it's a 10 years management period, and we're probably pushing that. I know Mr. Boyce's is coming up for his 10-year revision, and he's enrolled in East Valley. That's how
Right. So that's why I'm asking the questions, because I figured that we had to be coming close to that.
Yeah, if not
over. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And this has been on my radar since I've been on the board, now going in my second year.
Sure.
Was to try to do something and get some access to this property.
Exactly.
Which it's not going to give us access, but we're going to start doing something with the property.
Right.
Which, if we ever gain access, the logging roads are going to definitely help increase the usability. In my mind, now it's just my opinion, okay? I don't, my mind is going to help increase the usability of that property for hiking or horseback riding or whatever we have thrown out there for hunting, ATV use, if that's what it was. But there's a lot of different things.
We're on the same page on it.
Yeah, but the main skid trail access way into the hollow past the Sportsman's Club camp needs a considerable amount of work.
For sure.
ATV use over the years has been quite extensive, but there's even a couple of areas there because of the erosion that is caused.
Right.
They aren't even sticking their necks out to use it.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to try to get a skidder across them. So, I have 40, I think, from just below the Sportsman's Club camp to the very top of the almost the boundary of Boyce and the tannery on the top.
Yeah.
I got 43
crossings,
water bar locations that I want reinforced with logs before they start working. Not just a water bar. To be reinforced with logs so that they hold up. You can put in a water bar, but after you skid logs through, 4 or 5 hitches, they're going to be gone. And then we need something there that's going to sustain some use.
Yep.
There's another section here across Boyce's just before you get up there. You can ask Dickie Bisson about that one.
Yep.
That is washed extremely bad, very narrow ledge. Bedrock comes out to the surface there, and it drops almost straight into the stream there, the headwaters of the Halifax Brook. And he lost an ATV down over here during deer season here 4 or 5 years ago. That's going to take some work. Side logs thrown in, and an excavator to really do some what needs to be done to access that. And that type of work should hold up through my lifetime.
Okay, that was
once it's done
done correctly. That was
done correctly.
I know the answer, but I want everybody else to know the answer to that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
If it's done correctly, I have familiarity with all this stuff. So, do you have, and I know this is really hard, do you have an estimated value of the timber that's on?
Timber.
I know, because it opens up. I know.
And it surely hasn't increased in price like the prices at the lumberyard.
I know. No, I know that.
But just a quick guesstimate at this time.
Not that it matters, because it doesn't. I'm curious.
Probably $20,000 to $25,000.
Okay.
Sometimes it depends on how much competition that there is.
Mm-hmm.
I sent out notices to 10 lumber companies and loggers. List wasn't as long as sometimes
I'm sure it's dwindling down too.
Because they're getting fewer and further between, and to be quite honest, there's probably only about 3 or 4 guys that I know have the capabilities of doing it.
Get up in there, yeah.
So
I agree.
It's not going to be for the light of heart. I'll tell you that. Their throat's going to be here most of the day.
Yeah.
So what our costs of fixing the roads and whatever that you have to do
that,
come out of
no,
the...
that would be figured, whoever is bidding on that, they'll be aware of what they're going to have to do to upgrade the roads to the specifications.
That's all in part of the
and
plan.
then in there, they'll bid according.
Okay, I see.
The only expense out of what you receive from stumpage would be, for my fee or handling of the timber.
Right. And that processing for the whole conservation. You got to file something with them too.
Oh yeah, that's a phone call.
Okay. Make sure you speak into this.
Oh, all right.
Not you, him.
Yeah,
Jamie kind of too soft, and I can't hear him.
I get accused of that every day of my life, so I know how you feel.
My personal opinion is I think we should go ahead with including that tannery property in this timber sale.
I agree with that. Bob, do you have anything to ask or add?
I think that sounds good to me. No questions for me.
Okay. I think my big point, Bob, is in being positive about it, is our own forester has come to us with this proposal. It's not an outside entity, so to speak, and he's for it, and he's our town forester and has designed our forest plan, and I think it makes sense if he's telling us it makes sense, and we've hired him. I think it makes sense to do it.
The 300 acres is the same. I think that's the same 300 acres that Martina was referencing in her discussion, right?
No, she's over on the west side.
She's on the other side.
She's on the.
Oh, okay, because she actually did. It's just a coincidence that it's the same amount.
Yep. Totally opposite sides of town.
All right.
The actual area of the both sales, I think one was only like 35 acres and one was a little bit more than that. But, you've got brook ravines and, steep slopes and rock outcroppings in that area that, that really aren't navigable, by commercial logging equipment. So,
a slip chain or a guideline.
And we have we have agreeable property owners, I think is what I heard also, that we don't have to.
Yeah,
I just think it makes sense to do it right now. Yep. I really do. They're going in there. They're going to be there. If we had to go back in there and do the roads, it would be 100% at our expense, where you're splitting the cost of whatever cost that's incurred on the whole project. You're splitting the cost. So
each property owners in charge of their own stuff.
Right.
I think the big thing is that our own forester is telling us that we should be considering it. So I'm good with it.
Ronnie, do you have anything to ask?
No, it's fine. It should all be done at the same time.
Okay, then.
And the only thing here with, a verbal agreement with Mr. O'Donovan is fine, but it's definitely something, that would be part of the whole thing, a short-term temporary land use agreement to be able to access.
And I
access timber.
That's right.
Especially for
access timber per our deed.
Right.
So if everybody's agreed, can I entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion that we enter into, per recommendation of our forester, we enter into this timber sale on the tannery property.
Second that.
Any discussion?
And just on the condition that there's no taking of right of ways or anything from any of the citizens, right?
No, this is just basically for giving me permission to advertise it, at this time, and then work forward. You have the right to reject any or all bids that come in if you just don't feel that it's worth it. If in the end, if Mr. Boyce feels that, well, geez and crow, this isn't really worth my time, well, then we'll have to cross that bridge.
And that's fine. Exactly. But right now, it's,
and it would be it would be a separate issue. And if you want to go through with it, fine. And, make those improvements to the property. Protect better protect what's there.
Yes.
Because, you know, the ATV use has been extensive.
Right.
Not like Sucker Pond Road,
Right.
but
Well,
yeah.
it's you don't have the wetlands on that side that they're dealing with over here.
Right.
Well, yeah,
Well,
you
you
know.
have some stream crossings.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Okay.
you know. So I guess that pretty much covers.
Okay, so I have a motion on the table. I have a second. We're done discussing. Jamie?
Aye.
Ronnie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Aye.
Angie, aye.
Very well.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming
on
in.
Thursday then, when I show it, I'll present bidders that show to take a look at what else we have marked there. I will probably at some point in time have to remark a little bit of it. The blue paint didn't hold up as good as the orange, so some of it's a little faded, but and then a week, be the 22nd will be the date that the bids will be due.
Bids will be due the
So
22nd.
then I'll notify you.
Our next meeting is the 24th.
Perfect.
So it's perfect timing.
Very good.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Take care.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Okay. 10. Staff meeting,
Tickles my heart.
90-day review.
We need to schedule those.
Yes, we do. That's why I put it on here. So, you know how last year we met with everybody?
Yep.
I would love to do that again. I would also like to add the transfer station, the road crew, and Darcy. And then if anybody has any questions or concerns, they could give it to their supervisor. And when they come, they can relay that to us. Is everybody in agreement with that?
As far as having them do their staff's annual evaluation.
No.
If the staff has any questions, then the foreman
That's
can take
separate. You know how last year we met with everybody to see if there was any concerns,
Okay. Yep.
if they needed anything and all that. I'd like to do that again.
Okay.
So we need to set up a time for that. And then separately, we need to set up 90-day review for Tim and Megan.
Yep.
Tim, we're actually over both of them. Tim was hired on February 11th and Megan was March 1st. So for the meeting, would you want to do it all at once? Do it all at one night?
Not all of them.
No.
No, I think we do Tim and Megan on one night.
Okay.
And then, my opinion.
That's fine.
And then we bring in transfer station, road crew, wastewater treatment on another night. Because I think the 90-day review
A little more in depth.
could be a little more in depth than just bringing in Joel, Tom, and Darcy for a question and answer session.
Right. I also still want to do like the listers and
I do too, but
Ellen,
and we can schedule that too. I
Julie.
just think that I'm not, and I just think the 90-day review
you
for
want
those.
separate, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I just wanted to make sure that I remembered to ask about both of them.
Start with our core group.
Well, I think they're important to do first.
Yes.
For timeline wise.
Yep.
So, and I'd rather not do a Monday and Tuesday if we could, but Wednesday, Thursday are fine with me.
Okay. Do you want to try to do Thursdays at our regular time? But off meeting nights?
Megan, is there any meetings next Wednesday night for Planning Commission or DRB? Do you know?
There's nothing next Wednesday, the 16th.
I'd like to do Tim and Megan on the 16th.
All right, June 16th.
If they're available.
What time would be good? Do you want to do it at 7 or do you want to do it earlier?
I'd like to do one at 6:30 and one at 7. Does that sound reasonable, Bob? Are you okay with that?
What was the date again?
Next Wednesday, the 16th.
At 7?
We do one at 6:30 and one at 7.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that'll work for me. Thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to do, do you guys have a preference which one comes in first? Okay. Let's do Megan at 6:30 and Tim at 7.
Okay. Sounds like a plan to me.
And the only reason I say that is because I think, and this is my opinion, I think Tim should sit in on Megan's review because he works very closely with her and kind of supervises what goes on a daily basis with her.
Also, do you think we should ask Rebecca to sit
Oh,
in?
definitely.
Okay.
On both. Rebecca should be here for both.
Yes.
Either Zoom or in person. But
Correct.
I want Tim to sit in on Megan's review because they work very closely together on a daily basis.
Yep, I agree with that. All right, and then with the rest of them,
Thursday.
You want to do Thursday?
I do. Get them done.
Do you want to start at 6 and do like what we did last time at 15?
Every half hour.
Every half hour, was it?
Well, do we think we need a half hour, or do we think we can get it done quicker?
Just the supervisors.
Just the supervisors.
Just the supervisors.
Talking about the transfer station, the road crew, and the sewer department.
Right, and I also want to speak to.
Spend a week on each one.
No, I know.
You think 15 minutes is enough, Ronnie? Or should we go a half hour?
They all know.
15 minutes? Okay.
We could always creep it over 20 minutes.
Okay. You want to go 6:30, 6:45, and 7?
On the 17th.
On the 17th? Does that work for you, Bob?
That's good.
6:45 and 7?
Yep.
What about the office staff? Ellen, the listers, Julie.
Not much we can say there. We can just bring them in for a question and answer.
Bring them in and we can ask them what we can do to help.
That's what we did last year. Oh, you weren't here, were you, Ronnie? I'm sorry. Last year we met with them and asked them if there was any concerns or if there was anything that we could get for them.
Let's bring them in the following week after our next meeting, after the 24th.
Okay, so for right now, we're going to do.
Let's concentrate on those 5 next week.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the 24th, we can set up the time for those other.
Okay.
The other people, the other groups.
All right.
Are these all executive sessions?
The reviews, yes.
Yes. They have to be. So isn't talking, well, it should be because it's personnel. They all should be.
You know, I don't know. What do you think, Bob? I don't know if we would have to have actually schedule it. I think we should have it. I think we should have it available if we had to go into an executive session if we bring in Joel and Darcy, but I'm not sure that we necessarily have to do it in executive.
No, not for their overview of it. If they have personnel issues, they have to.
Right, but if it was just an overview of their jobs and of their departments, we could do that in open session, and I think we probably should.
Absolutely.
Yep. I was talking about Tim and Megan.
Oh, yeah, Tim and Megan are definitely executive.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Tim, could you do a quick email to everybody? So it would be Tom, Darcy, and Joel. And you can set up the time with whoever, whenever you want. 6:30, 6:45, and 7.
And I think we should allow in the warning, just so that it's out there, I think we should allow for an executive for each one if needed.
Yes. Right, yes.
Okay?
If needed.
If needed.
Yep.
Not saying it is, because I don't believe there's a problem anywhere at all, but I believe I would like to have an executive if
just
needed.
In case. Yep.
Just in case.
I think that should be a standard thing for any meeting.
Right. You should always have executive
we have to have
session.
it warned. If you don't, you can't do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's a standard language on our warning, then we're covered.
Right. Okay.
And for Ellen, the listers, and the clerk, the same thing. 6:30, 6:45, and 7.
We're going to do the following week on the 24th.
24th. The week after that.
24th is our
24th is our regular meeting.
The week after.
So it'll be July 1st. Right?
Yeah.
What day is that on? A Thursday?
I think so.
Okay. Shouldn't interfere with anybody's holiday plans, I wouldn't think.
Your party plans?
By then, everything's supposed to be.
It's the 1st.
Okay. Thank you, Megan. All right. That's all set. So all we have left is public comment.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I have so much writing on my paper. I'm so sorry. Okay. So after the 10-1 is the ARPA, and we need to appoint Tim and Ellen because they're going to be requesting the money. Did everybody read it? This is the COVID money, correct?
So, correct. Yes.
Yes.
So Tim, would you be prepared to speak on that a little bit for what it is? We know what it is, but just so our listeners know.
So it's the American Rescue Plan Act, and just this Tuesday, the state issued guidance on how the municipalities, and every municipality in Vermont is entitled to monies based on population, how they can request it. And that every municipality has 30 days to do that from Tuesday. And they can either choose to accept it and receive the money, or they can choose not to accept it and give it back to the state of Vermont to disperse how they wish. As Pownal, we're entitled to $355,938, and you get that in 2 lump sums, split in half, one in 2021 and the other half in 2022. Once you receive it, there are strict regulations as to how you can use it. So once we get it, if we choose to apply for it, then we'll have to sit down and determine how we want to use it.
Well, I'd say definitely go for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Crazy if we don't. Let's, and I think that I make a motion that we appoint Tim and Ellen as the point people for this program.
I second that. Any discussion?
How much money was that, Tim? Started off with
$355,938. That's based on population.
Yeah. You get half of it 1 year and half the following year.
Correct. Yep, and each half is $177,969.
Okay. All right.
And a lot of this is sort of, you know, it was like the other COVID stuff where it's being worked out as it goes.
Yep.
So that's why I wanted to get it on tonight, so that when we get into the application process, if there's anything that comes up that needs your attention again, we have time
Right.
to bring it back.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I have a motion on the table. Seconded. All right. So Jamie?
Aye.
Ronnie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Angie? Aye. Okay. And then the second thing was the Zoom room. I guess they had it up and running today, the whole Zoom thing. They're almost there. That's what these speakers are for and stuff. But we have to have a Zoom room, which is $4.99 a year for the fee. So we need to entertain a motion to allow Tim to do that.
Make a
I'll
motion.
motion. So
I'm
move.
Oh, okay.
I'll second it. Bob moved, I'll second.
All right. Any discussion? So I have one question. You know how we pay for Zoom now and we paid for it for the year? That $4.99 would cover that and we wouldn't have to pay that either. Is that correct?
No, so the Zoom subscription we have is just to use Zoom.
Yeah.
To use the system, you have to use within Zoom, that's a room, the Zoom room. That's an additional top of what we pay here.
We can't hear you, Tim.
The $4.99 is on top of the subscription that we spend yearly. Which I'm not sure how much that is. I think it's $100.
Right. It's like $14 or $15 a month.
Something like that.
For Zoom.
Yes. This gives us an added feature of the Zoom room.
Okay.
And this whole contraption requires a Zoom room.
Gotcha.
There's more flexibility within the system.
Yeah.
Okay. Jamie.
Aye.
Ronnie.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
Bob. Angie. Aye.
And that puts us at about $600 a year for Zoom for everything, right? For these meetings, plus the access to the big TV and all that stuff.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Way to throw a kink in the order you were doing.
I'm sorry. I was doing so well.
Right.
Okay, let me make sure I have everything. I do. Request money, Zoom. Okay, we have everything. Now we can open up to public comment. If there's anybody out there for public comment, please raise your hand and remember to state your full name, please. Thank you.
There's no one else in here.
Okay, then can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Jamie.
Aye.
Ronnie.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Angie, aye. Thank you, everybody.
Recording stopped.